Hey guys, and welcome back to Book Club. It is week 19 and we are here to talk about the freaking there we go, Jim C Hines or Hines, Goblin War with Jig. We're back with Jig for the final installment of Jig's trilogy. I did really stop saying Steven, because it's just stupid. I did really like the Goblin War. It was a little bit. A lot of people are saying that it was a little bit more dull and less funny than the other two books. I personally thought it was very good and very. I thought it was just as funny, and I also thought that it was better. To be fair, I did. I personally did. I know it's not in the mountain and you're coming out and you're seeing humans, but you're still seeing it from a goblin's point of view. And you're seeing the story of Timur's Shadowstar and Jig come to a conclusion, and you're seeing the powers of Timur's Shadowstar and him actually giving them to Jig and allowing Jig to come forth in this story and his character. And obviously his lair got under attack by the humans. Obviously they were trying to take revenge and trying to get the Rod of Creation, which evidently they did, obviously, because they got destroyed. And then Jig and quite a lot of the others got taken prisoner, which we got to see Darnak again. The Darnak got turned back into a human, which is interesting, to say the least. And to keep try not to go through every aspect of the story, I would say this book was really decent. The way Jig went from being a prisoner, escaping, with, was it 2 other people? Yeah, 2 other people, which was to become his two right hand people and main characters in this thing. And you'd find out that one of those characters actually had an affiliation for Jig, and she liked Jig. And she was only becoming, going faithful to Timur's Shadowstar because she liked Jig. Pretty much, or that's what it seems like, considering at the end of the book she had a chance to stay with Timur's Shadowstar or to go with Jig, and doing that she chose to go with Jig to be with him. Obviously Timur's Shadowstar also appeared on this realm and saved Jig's life, which is kind of cool. It shows that he in fact does care for his follower, and even though it is only a goblin follower, unfortunately he sort of we don't know really what happened. Apparently he didn't die, but he was very weak, but then he could have died. So in the audiobook I listened to, right at the end you heard Timur's Shadowstar laugh. I don't know if that was actually in the book, but if it was, then obviously he's not dead. But if that was just something they threw in there just to be a little bit, a little bit willy-nilly, a little bit, I don't know. But yeah, in the one I think I would like to think that, because right at the end obviously he's like, Timur's Shadowstar can't be heard by civilized people, and they were like, oh yeah, we've got hobgoblins to eat. And then you heard Timur's Shadowstar laugh, and then Jig go, yes, civilized indeed. Or it was the other way around actually. So that's the way I would have liked to have had it end, if I'm honest. That's the way I'm going to remember it ending. I do say a lot. So to come back to the actual story, Jig sort of saw all sides of this war. It was really crazy because he sort of went from being holding up in his mountain to becoming a prisoner, to then going to the other side of the war with the creatures, who one of them wanted him dead, which was the lead head woman of that cabin, who he had to fight twice. And that's when Timur's Shadowstar saved him and took the blade of the gods of winter, blade straight in his stomach and destroyed the sword, which that sword actually destroyed the Rod of Creation, which was kind of crazy when that happened, because he was like, you see this like great powerful rod, and then all of a sudden, with one swipe of this magical sword, it was just gone, which I found was crazy, which I did like. I did find it really crazy, but really cool at the same time, because it just takes that whole rod of creation out of the books. Because if the guy with the rod of creation was smart, he probably could have just used the rod of creation to kill the woman, like Jig did, turn her into a trout and just leave her. She'll die. Hopefully, we don't. Yeah, I can't really quote that or say that is something, but yeah, hopefully that is something that will happen. Well, that is something that. No, what am I talking about? Don't worry, just don't worry what I was saying. I say stuff sometimes. But that is something that I found quite interesting, because obviously you have this magical artifact that is immensely powerful. Everybody's after it. Take it out of existence and take the other one out of existence, so nobody has these magical artifacts anymore. Nobody has something to really fight over, apart from the death of the king's sons, which, funnily enough, the king actually gives Jig a pardon, I believe, and then makes him a baron. Oh, that's so funny. A goblin baron, it's so good. But I guess like that apparently is what made them civilized, and that's why Tim of the Shadowstar couldn't talk to Jig anymore. But obviously what I said, I heard Tim of the Shadowstar laughing in the audiobook. So in my eyes, that titles don't make you civilized. That's why you heard that laugh. I would like to. I think some of the key good bits in the book were the first time they were mucking out the stables. The character of the corporal, I can't remember who he was, but the corporal, or I think he was a corporal, who had all the regulations, the whole army. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was fantastic. I thought he was just a brilliant character in all. Also, the way that the lieutenant died because of Jig, well, that was very impressive. On Jig's part, always outsmarting people, along with obviously his ability to just so like he'd have full on arguments with the god, like wouldn't care, full on arguments with the god. Like this is what I really liked about like this, like goblins, and because goblins, I'm sure that they don't care. Where if a human was having a conversation with a god, they would sort of be like, oh wait, this is the god, I shouldn't be fucking around with him. Where Jig's just like, I don't care, fuck off, I don't want to die, which is really cool. I really like that. So if I'm going to rate this book, I'd probably give it an 8. Just because it was really good. I would have liked to have seen it not be a bit longer, but just a little bit more at the end. I would have liked to have known if he could have spoken to him, this Shadowstar, or what was going to happen there. And we also didn't know what happened to Slash or Vika in the book at all. I'm guessing that's because they were sort of like a side plot in the last book, so he was just like, nah, I'm not bothering with that this time. And we got instead of that, we got the other characters this time, which Jig was traveling with. So I did like it. It was a bit crazy, interesting. I really liked when the god appeared and Jig put the spider on the god's head and it just melted through. I thought that was brilliant. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was absolutely hilarious and fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Tell me what you guys thought of this book. I thought it was fantastic. Tell me your favourite parts of it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more, and hit the bell for more content like this every Sunday. So the book next week. I actually know the book I want to do because I've been listening to it. But it's a very long series, but it's not a long. It's quite a short series as well. Right, the first book. Just gotta find the author's name. Who is this by? Ah, it is. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I will tell you right now. It is called It is the first book in the Bowl of Souls series, The Eye of the Moonrat by Terry. Terry? It will be in the description. Or it could be Trevor. Yeah, it's Trevor H. Cooley. Trevor H. Cooley. I really did like this book. Or the premises of this book. It's not a long book either, so it's good. Brilliant. Brilliant. And this Goodreads, is this like a big fucking site? But it's like you just put down how many books you've read? I'm guessing it is. Yeah, it is. But there are 11 books in total. That's crazy. Huh. But yeah, there are 11 books in total. Don't know if we're gonna read all 11 books, but definitely want to read a few of them because they seem to be really fun and really cool. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. And he actually just released a new book in last year, November last year. So he's actually still going with the series, which is interesting because I wouldn't have thought he would be. A book series 11 books long is long, say the least. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. As I said, subscribe, and I will see you next week with the next book club of the Bowl of Souls. So I'll see you in a bit. See you later. Bye, peace, and commish. That's the wrong button.